Welcome to the True Wealth Investors Real Estate Podcast. Creative investing strategies to help you build true wealth. I'm your host, Chad Harris. All right, this week's episode is with an interview with Ryan Faircloth, and it is a re-airing of episode 40. And I haven't done a lot of re-airing episodes, but the reason we're re-airing this episode, originally we interviewed Ryan because he did a 48-hour flip, which I thought was a cool concept, and talking about the team he had to take this bigger process and boil it down into a short amount of time and how he leveraged that team. And I loved his quote, teamwork makes the dream work, right? If we want to really do great things, we have to incorporate other people and build that team who have a shared vision for what we're accomplishing. And so, but recently I saw that Ryan's newer project, where he's doing converting a hotel into an Airbnb, was rated the number one roadside motel by Nationwide. I think it was USA Today. So we need to get Ryan back on here to talk about that as well. But in honor of his great accomplishment, we're going to re-release his original interview. And I know you'll benefit from what he has to say, how he works with other people, how he shares that vision, as well as you'll find his contact information. So you can follow him and learn more about him and what he's got going on right now. So appreciate you as always. If you can leave a rating and review, comment, any of that is great. Subscribe. Always appreciate you being here, and glad it's beneficial for you, and hope we can meet more people and help other people build their dream life one door at a time. All right, enjoy the interview. Everybody, today I am really excited because we have a guest out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, Ryan Faircloth, who has an awesome story to share and is really active and has done some things that I think are really amazing in real estate. I'm not sure quite how he does them. So I know we're going to get a lot of great information and a lot of great encouragement from this interview. So thanks for being on, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad you took the time. I've seen a lot of the things you've been doing, and man, you are on the move. You are.
Yeah, well, right now I'm at a job site, so it's kind of might be echoey in here. I don't know. But yeah, we're here working right now. I'm here in Chattanooga. Have a dumpster rental company here, and we do houses, flip houses, and rentals, and whatever we can do with real estate.
All right. So how did it start? I mean, now you're involved in a whole bunch of things and businesses, flips, rentals. How did that process get its first initial beginning?
Well, it started, I can't remember if it was late 90s or early 2000s. We bought a house like 2 doors down from our house that was in foreclosure. My wife did. She's like, I'm going to buy this house. And I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and buy it. And so we bought it, and that was like right when we first got married, somewhere around 2 or 3 years in. I don't remember, maybe 5 years in our marriage. I've been married 23 years. Well, that started it, and we cleaned it up, fixed it, rented it. We rented it for I don't know how long, and then next to it, it had some acreage with it. I moved in some mobile homes next to it, and really upset all my neighbors. Where we are at, we don't have zoning. Where I live, I'm in the country, by the way.
Okay.
And we don't have zoning, so I moved into mobile homes, and I used to have a furniture manufacturing company back then. And I moved in some employees that needed some housing, and that come up from Mexico. And I was like, yeah, I'll move these in over here, rent these to you guys. My neighbors didn't like the mobile homes back there, but anyway, yada, yada, they stayed. I rented them, and I kind of got into mobile home business a little bit back then also.
Wow. So how long was it, you bought the first house as a rental. How long was it from then until you're popping down mobile homes and starting to ramp up?
Well, I don't know. Everything's like a blur back then.
Yeah.
Hours, and I had two kids, a wife, and yada yada.
Yeah.
So everything's kind of a blur. But yeah, I bought those two mobile homes. When I bought those, I was like, man, I can buy these things like cheap. And I never paid over $2,500 for a mobile home.
Really?
And then these are good mobile homes. I'm not talking about junk ones. These were good ones. It's the way I found them and how I found them. I would find people who were moving. Okay, they were in a park, a mobile home park. So I would find people that have for sale signs on their mobile. You drive through a park. Some people have put for sale signs on the end of in a window on their mobile home, for sale. I talked to them, find out the story. And what I found out was a lot of the people that were in the park did not want to sell their home to the owner, because for some reason they didn't like the park owner, or maybe they got into it with the park owner or whatever. So they didn't want to sell. They didn't want the park owner to have it. So they were like, hey, we're moving out of here. We can't afford to move this thing. So we're going to sell it for whatever, 5,000, 6,000, 3,000. And I'd be like, I think I did pay 3,000 for one. I'd be like, hey, I got $2,500 cash if you have a title. They'd be like, sold. So, that's how I started buying them. And sometimes I would just leave them there in the park and then stick my for sale sign up or put an ad in the newspaper back then, not Craigslist or anything. Put an ad in the paper, mobile home, $6,000, $8,000, and sell it sitting right there in the park. I'd pay another lot rent just to make sure, that it's up and up with the park owner, and sell it like that. But that kind of got me started in mobile homes. And then I built a small mobile home park, early 2000s, about, I don't know, 6 miles or so from where I live. My wife and I, we found a piece of land. It's 3 acres. Pasture, we went in. There was no sewer, so we had to put septic tanks in. Got with Georgia Power, put in all the power poles, put up, it was going to be a 6-lot mobile home park. And got that going. Then we sold it right after the crash or before the crash, can't remember, somewhere in there.
Wow. So mobile home that you bought, I think that's awesome. First of all,
yeah,
that's very little effort buying a mobile home for 2,500, reselling it for 8 or 6 or whatever. But when you bought these mobile homes for 25, 3,000, what were you renting them for when you would put them on one of your lots?
I think 450. I think it's about 450. So yeah, I'd move them, but hook them up. I had to install another tank, of course, for the sewer or septic. But yeah, I think I rented to those guys like 50, and they worked for me too, so I was guaranteed to get their money.
So. Yeah, sure. That's a great return. I don't know what the land cost, but those are good numbers for sure.
Well, see, the land I already purchased with that house on that that first deal. Yeah, and I just moved those other 2 in there. But the park, I can't remember what I paid for that land. I think it was like 20-something thousand.
Okay.
And then had to put the tanks. Tanks were about $4,500 a piece back then, with 200 infiltrator, driveway. Had to do all that. Back then I wasn't an investor. I was just like, hey, I want to do this. I didn't call myself an investor. I just called I was like, I think I told you earlier, it was just like a hobby. Hey, let's just build this. I want to try this. And I've never built a park or anything, but I can figure stuff out.
Yeah. What was, I think for mobile homes, a lot of people hear a mobile home or mobile home park, and that kind of scares them or turns them off. They have all these like really horrible images in their head.
Oh yeah, I've got some of those.
What was it like managing that park that you built with 6 units?
It was good at first, and it's like, okay, if I had to do it again, I would not rent the mobile homes. I'd bring them in and then owner finance them, whatever, and I'd rent the lots.
Okay.
Because mobile homes are built so cheap, or back then, I don't know what they are today. Back, I would pull in like 1980 something year model mobile homes, I bring those in, and they're just built so cheap. They're like 2x3 walls, gray pipe. You got to take all that gray pipe out and put new plumbing in, because if you don't, that stuff's just going to bust all to pieces in the wintertime.
Mm.
Bust in the wintertime, you're going to have water all in the floor, and those floors, they don't put plywood in the decking, floor deck. They use this stuff. I call it sawdust board. It's not wafer board. It's not like OSB. It's literally like a sawdust that's compressed and glued together. So when it gets wet, that stuff just buckles and bows and just warps, and it's just garbage. So replace all the plumbing. I forgot where we're going with this question, but
Yeah, so it sounds like the management issues
the
with
management, yeah.
weren't necessarily the people; it was more the mobile homes and.
Well, I got the mobile homes were good, and then I got one bad tenant that got on drugs. Okay, so it's a small park. It's like almost like that one bad apple spoiled the rest of them, because when this guy, he got on drugs, whatever reason, he started getting money from door to door, saying he needed milk and bread. And then the neighbor knew he wasn't paying rent, and I go try and collect rent, and he didn't have it, or he wasn't there, or his wife and kids would come to the door, and the kids would look at me, and I felt bad for him. And so yeah, he spoiled everybody, because in that situation, I found out like everyone knew he wasn't paying, so they started being late on their rent. Yeah. Like a little community, everybody knew everybody's business. So my advice is, if you get a bad apple, get them right out of there really quick, because it'll spread like an infection.
Yeah, that is good advice. And manage them. You have to manage them all the same.
Yeah.
If you let one guy slide, everybody knows it.
Yeah, they know.
Concepts like that, and then everybody expects you to let them slide. So, what do you think when, I really can relate to treating it like a hobby. And I think a lot of people, when they start or dabble in real estate a little bit, they treat it like a hobby. What do you think? What was the jump when you suddenly treated it like a business? What was the difference?
Honestly, that was about 3 years ago. So it was just recently.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just, we did this and that, and my wife got her broker's she became a realtor in 2009. Probably the worst time to be a realtor, but she made it. And then in 3 years, she got a broker's license, opened her own brokerage, Faircloth Realty. And it's just like, and then she's like, we need to do more investing. And she said, I'm tired of chasing buyers and sellers and this. And so we started doing more investing, flipping, rentals, things of that nature. And so about 3 years ago, hey, this is a business now. We need to treat it like a business. We're going to act like it's a business. It's a business.
So it's more like how seriously you take it, or more how structured your goals are and what you're working towards?
Yeah, goals and how we structure it. It's like what we do every single day now.
Mm.
And I also have a dumpster rental company, as I mentioned before. So that, my daughter, she's kind of running the phones on that right now. And I have a driver who runs the dumpsters. We're a small dumpster company. I have 25 dumpsters. That's what the junk clean is.
Junk clean. All right.
So I've got that. So if we buy a house, we need to clean it out or tear stuff out, and I've always got a dumpster. So that, that helps.
I like the complementary businesses.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So do you service with the dumpsters? Is it just Chattanooga or bigger?
Yeah, Chattanooga and surrounding areas. We go up Northwest Georgia, Chattanooga, Ringgold. Those just little areas right there.
Okay. So if you were starting around in the late 90s and got serious a few years ago, along the way, what did people think about your investing? Not everybody's throwing up mobile homes on this vacant land and building a mobile home park and, getting the realtor's license and brokerage. What were people kind of wondering what you were doing, or what was their response?
I really don't. I don't care what people wonder what I'm doing. They can think or wonder all they want. I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I just kind of do my thing, and my wife, we just do it, and I don't know. I never asked them.
With working with your wife, was it always, did you always have a shared vision for where you were going, or?
No, uh, we do now though. I mean, it's great now. Yeah, like I said, we've been married 23 years. I mean, we've always worked good together, except for when I was in the furniture business. That was kind of tough for us. And and I told her I didn't fire her, but I told her you
Oh.
know. And but she's like, yeah, I gotta go. So she went and got her realtor's license. No, we work great together. I keep telling people, teamwork makes the dream work, and Melissa and I, we're the team. She's my number one. She's my best friend. I mean, she does stuff that I'm not that great at, and she's really good at. And then there's some stuff that I can do that she's not really that good at. So we both complement each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love, what was the phrase?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Love it. That's great. Yeah. So whether that's working together with your spouse or a partner or
Right.
contractors or whatever it is, you can't do it alone. That's
Yeah.
sharp. So what deals do you like now, or what have you been doing in the last few years?
Uh, I got it. We were doing single family houses, and we still do. Like I'm sitting in a single family house right now. We're doing, but we're renting it out. This is for a college, so we're renting it out by the bed. I can get in those details later on in a different podcast. I can't get in that right now because this is brand new for us, so I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah. Okay.
They move in next week, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to tear the walls down or what. I don't know. But yeah, as far as like single family, multifamily, I love multifamily because I just like the way the numbers work. We have 4 duplexes right now. I do have 1 mobile home right now also. And then the single family home, Melissa's working on a flip. So I like the multifamily because of the numbers. The numbers is just, I just like the numbers of them.
Meaning the price compared to rents, or what with the numbers?
Well, like, you got more doors someone moves out, someone else is still paying, per door. Like, we have 2 on one parcel. So there's 4 doors, one person moves out, you got 3 paying, which right now we just did an eviction this morning. My wife had to go to court for one. But so now we have 2 doors empty, and, but one's being, about to be occupied. So we'll have just 1 door empty on that one.
Okay.
And, we're looking at other stuff. I bought some land in December of last year because when I kept looking at these multifamily properties, the way real estate was so hot and the places were so inflated, prices were so inflated, it was like, man, I can build this stuff for what they're trying to sell this stuff for. They're wanting like 70 something, $80,000 a door. And some of the stuff was $80,000, $90,000 a door. And I'm like, man, I was like, I can build this. I can build brand new construction for this price in my area where I'm at. Because and the reason how I can do it is because I know everybody that does this. My dumpster company, I rent to this guy that does construction, that does roofing, so I can get their prices. I don't have to sub this stuff out. I can be the contractor. So I bought a piece of land, 3 acres, and I was going to build 26 units the first this year. I bought it in December, planning on starting in March. I think March or April, I can't remember. But COVID hit, of course, and
yeah,
everybody's supposed to die by now. So that didn't, we're all still alive, but now there's a big gap or break in the supply chain. And then lumber prices are like 30-40% higher right now. So I can't do nothing. I'm just sitting on this piece of property. I can't build anything. I can't start right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's hard to really plan and know what's going to happen with materials a month from now or 3 months from now too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I just partnered with another guy on a lot we bought to do a 3-2 bedroom house. And he just got the lumber price back this morning. He said, man, we're going to have to wait a couple months because it's just so inflated right now.
So we have to talk about at least one of your deals specifically, because I saw some awesome videos you did on the 48-hour
Yeah.
rehab.
Yeah. 48-hour rehab challenge.
Yeah, which at first I thought was really impressive when I thought it was a 7-day rehab, and then you
Yeah.
corrected me. You're
Yeah.
like, no, it's 48 hours. I was like,
Yeah. I had to correct
what?
you on that because you was like
Yeah,
7-day rehab. I'm like, no, no,
I
I
was
need
having
to
trouble
correct this guy on
wrapping my
that.
head around how you do a rehab in 48 hours.
It was
So,
hard, but I mean, we did it. Well, we didn't, but because, COVID, of course, was there. I ordered the cat. This is what happened. I went into Lowe's. I bought the cabinets. Well, this was the lady was busy. Usually, I had a drawing of my space, the cabinets. I was going to go in and give it to the lady. She's going to tell me what I needed. Well, she had like 2 or 3 customers because COVID was here. So everybody's doing all these remodels at home. And she had a line of people. And I was like, man, I don't have time to wait for this. So I'm like, I'll just pick this stuff out myself. I got the 12-inch, I got the 18-inch, bottoms, tops, whatever, sink, 36-inch base sink cabinet. I had it all picked out. I was like, man, I got this. So I take it to the rehab. My painters, we started at 8 a.m. one morning. We ripped out the carpet, cabinets, everything within, I think, an hour, hour and a half. It's on my video.
yeah, so take us through what the deal was, because I think a lot of people probably think you can't do a 48-hour rehab. So it must have just been touch up the paint and, something really simple. Put a couple bushes and mulch out front or something.
Yeah, no, it was
What was the actual rehab or the actual deal?
new flooring, new carpet, new LVT, new cabinets. Install it. This duplex I've got, they do not. These 4 units. There's 2 duplexes. That one particular unit does not have a dishwasher. So we added a dishwasher, brand new stove, brand new dishwasher, brand new cabinets, brand new countertop, brand new sink, brand new faucets, brand new vanity in the bathroom, brand new toilet, brand new lights throughout the whole place, ceiling fan, paint, and flooring. So that was the rehab, and a new grid for the back door, which was busted for the back door. And new electrical sockets throughout the whole thing because for some reason this unit had all black sockets. So I had an electrician come in and put all new white sockets, new white faceplates. So that was what we did.
It's pretty much everything cosmetic.
Yeah, cosmetic. Yeah, there was no damage, Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, new carpet, new LVP. We come in, like I say, took all the carpet out, flooring. It had linoleum. Cabinets, had it all ripped out. And my painters come in, was prepping while I was ripping everything else out.
Okay.
Got done ripping everything out. They had a few more hours of prepping, and they said, you gotta have a good team. Teamwork makes the dream work. So these painters, they were prepping, and I'm like, dude, I said, guys, I'm done. You guys want me to help you? They was like, no, we got it. I said, all right, you can't leave, man. We're on a 48-hour challenge, and I'm videoing this, and I'm putting it out there to everybody. And they're like, no, man, we got it. And they did it. They prepped and painted. They left, I think, 9:30, 10 p.m. that night. And so paint dried next morning, come in the next day. The flooring guys were there. So they started laying the LVP. As soon as they started doing that, in the kitchen, they got done with that. I moved in and started hanging cabinets. And so they went on with their stuff and having one of my guys hanging lights that was helping me. I mean, it worked out. Everything worked out good, except for right there at the end, I missed a cabinet on my list, and it was a corner piece. And I tried to go back. I ran back to Lowe's to get it, and they didn't have it. And I said, will you check the other Lowe's? Because we had 2 other Lowe's that I could drive to. And no one had it. And she said, I don't know when we're going to get it. It'll probably been another 2 to 4 weeks. I was like, oh, this ain't going to work. It's like, man, I messed up. They had one the previous day, but somebody bought it.
Oh.
So it would have been done in 48 hours, no problem, if I would have bought that right piece that first day.
So without that piece, you don't have the cabinets fully set, and you don't have the counter. Was there anything else not done?
No, everything. Well, the counter, I couldn't put it on because I didn't have that piece.
Right. Yeah.
So everything was done. Everything's done.
That's awesome. I mean,
and, we did the final video. and I told everybody, I messed up.
So what do you think? So many people really struggle with the rehab,
Yeah.
even the cosmetic rehab. And I think it gets drug out, waiting, you got this guy waiting for this guy, and you're trying to coordinate contractors for you to have it nailed down in that tight a time frame. And you still involved multiple people. You had your painters, your floors, your electrician, your plumber.
Yeah.
What do you think were some of the keys to being able to do that?
Just staying on them. Communication, as my wife calls it. Good communication skills. Yeah, so good communication with everybody. I called them like 2 days before. I said, "Hey, you guys ready for this?" Everybody's like, "Yeah, man, we're ready. We're pumped." Um, so yeah, good communication skills. That's what got it done, and everybody showed up on time. Everybody showed up when they said.
Were any of these contractors you'd never used before?
The flooring guys, I've used where we buy our flooring. I use them all the time, but I told that guy, I said, "Look, we're doing a video." And he was like, "Oh man, that's great." And I said, "So your guys have to be there. Don't tell, please don't tell me to be there and not." And he said, "No, no, we got you scheduled. We got you scheduled." And so, yeah, it worked out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that one was a one that you held as a rental?
Yes, we still have that. Yeah. 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 And that, the value add, I got to talk about the value add on that. So that they were renting for that one unit was renting for four. When we bought it, was rent, I think 425, 450. All right. So we go in and rehab the whole thing. Now we're getting 800. So,
Wow.
it's just a big difference. I mean, the guy that used to own it, he's an old guy, and he just wasn't keeping up with the times of rentals. So yeah, we redid that whole unit, and it's rent for 800 now.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Yeah.
So what would be the numbers on that deal? Did you just buy it and rehabbed it after the purchase, or had you owned it a while?
No, we bought it back in February of this year.
Okay.
We closed on it first part of February, I think. Um, had to go do a cash for keys because the guy
Well,
owned it. He was an old man. He's in his 80s. This lady wasn't paying him. So I did a cash for keys because court's closed. She took it and she got out, went in there, and so then we set it up like that.
and how much did you end up putting in it with the rehab?
I think it was close to. I need to go back and look because I had some other projects going on too. I think that one was 8 or 9,000.
That's really good.
Yeah,
House, yeah.
I want it's one of those two numbers.
Sure. And how do you like to do the financing? Are you going to refinance it and try and get that money back out? Do you like to leave it in?
Well, we bought those with private money. And so, yeah, we're refinancing those out. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm getting them mixed up with those other two. we, so like I said, the market's so hot. So we paid, I forget, 147 for those. I think, yeah, 147 for both of those. So that was a really good price. This guy was just wanting, I feel bad for the guy. He lost his wife and then I don't know, but he named his price. So yeah. So I rehabbed that unit and then the guy made it up. We put them on the market later on, just about a month ago, actually, just to see. And we got full price asking. I think it was 258. My wife handles that part.
Wow.
So we're going to sell those and move that money to another county over the state line. Those are in Tennessee. We do a lot of stuff in Georgia. So we're moving that money to some other projects I've got going in Georgia.
Okay. Sure. All right. So now I got to ask about private money since you brought that up.
Yeah.
So you funded deals with private money as well?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody wants to know what that initial conversation was like with a private lender.
It was easy for us actually, because we've got a really good friend that he was using him, and I was like, I kept saying, we need to find our own private lender because we have a home HELOC on our house. Our house was paid for. That's a totally another story too on our house, but that our house is paid for, so we got a home equity line of credit on our house. So on our rehabs and stuff, we use our own money out of that to rehab the houses. So yeah, the private money guy, we had used him through another person doing some flips. And then we were trying to do some stuff on our own. And he was like, man, just call our guy, Charlie, just call him. So we called him, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the women or the men, but when I call him, he's like, hey, let me call you back. But when my wife calls him, he's like, oh, hey, how are you? So if it's an old guy, I recommend your wife call.
That's why your wife's talking about that communication skills,
Yeah,
right?
communication skills. Yeah, yeah,
So was it, it sounds like he does a lot of private lending. He's
yeah.
used the process.
Yes, he does a lot of lending. Yes.
Okay. So for him,
He,
what did he use to vet you, or how did he decide to lend to you?
I don't know. Never asked.
Did he want to know your experience as an investor, or just the
Yeah,
number?
he knew we had some experience. He knew that. From
Okay.
our other friend Mike, he knew we had experience. He knew my wife's been in real estate for so long. So the other guy vouched for us, so that really helped. And then once we did a couple of deals, he's like, "Yeah, they know what they're doing." You know,
Sure. And is it long term or
1 year.
1 year?
We have to refinance it with 1 year. No payment for 1 year. Uh, Payback. It's amortized over 1 year. Uh, Pay it back when we sell or refinance.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the no payment.
Yeah, I mean that really helps us out a lot. So we can use our money and just keep it rolling and get the stuff done and not worry about having to, make this payment to somebody.
Especially when you're doing the rehab and you're doing work on it and it's
Yeah,
not bringing in any money. Um, that's frustrating to me to have to keep making the monthly payment. I like having that no payment.
yeah,
Um,
and we're looking for another lender also, private money, just to have, just in case, because it's COVID. We didn't know he actually come down with COVID. We actually come down with COVID. My wife and I. Uh,
really?
yeah, we had it back in July, and our lender had it back in June, and he's early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. So it's like, man, if he was to pass, for one, that's a bad thing in itself. But then it's like, what do we do now? So I need to find just enough, just to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I never want to be dependent on any one person or institution or
Right.
whatever. So,
And I like building relationships with these guys too. It's fun. This guy that lends to us, he's been doing real estate since the 70s. And
wow.
so when you sit down and talk to him, he's just a golden book of knowledge.
That's sure.
Yeah.
What's that relationship like? How often do you talk to him or do you report to him or?
Uh, you know, we we've had lunch with him a couple times. He is a very busy person. Even at his age, he is busy. So you're on the phone, you tell him your deal, send him pictures, or maybe he'll come look at it. He'll meet you, uh, and then you get off the phone. That's it.
He's moving on, huh?
Yeah, he's moving. Yeah.
Not sure. And so what financing do you prefer at this stage? Are you Do you like the bank funding, using the HELOC, private money? What's your preference?
I like the private and using our HELOC. Um, and I've got a very good relationship with, well, we both do, Melissa and I do, with our local bank. I've had a checking account there since I was 16. So, I'm 44. So since I was 16, I mean, it's just a bank. It's a community or hometown bank, so I can just go in there and say, hey, we're doing this. Well, let's look it up, write it up. I can do it for this interest rate, whatever. So I've got a great relationship. They know me. They know my family. They know us. They know our work ethic. They know we're solid.
Yeah. I think that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Private lender, bank, whatever,
Uh,
that relationship and them knowing your character and your
yeah.
experience really goes a long way. So, and what kinds of things, you know, what kinds of things are you working towards now? What
Uh,
opportunities do you see moving forward?
well, with COVID, it's really hard to say. Or this election, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. This craziness in the world because lumber prices are too high for me to build right now. Um, People are supposed to be dropping off like flies with COVID. So I don't know what's the
Are
future.
there any kind of eviction restrictions where you're at or in your market or anything like that? Or
Say that again.
do you have any kind of eviction restrictions or, where you tenants
Not
can,
right now.
okay.
Yeah. No, like I said, Melissa just went to court this morning for an eviction.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
she didn't want to pay, and I don't know. There could be drugs involved. I don't know, but yeah. So she's got 7 days to get out. So
Yeah. People do odd things. You never know what they're going to do, right?
yeah,
So, what would you like to see? Let's say everything with COVID smooths out in the next few
I'd
months.
like to see these lumber prices go down so I can start my apartment build.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure. And the apartment building, you said it was 24 units that you plan?
26.
26.
Yeah.
Is that one building or what's that?
No, it's 6 buildings, um, and it's on 3 acres. 6 buildings on 3 acres. I've got all the renderings. They're at the office. Uh, they're all 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 840 square feet each, 9 foot ceilings. We're going to do some board and batten vinyl in the front with brick, like I forget how far up, 3 or 4 foot up. So they're going to be really nice, paved, all paved, paved parking.
And I mean, I've never dealt with anything like that, building a 26 unit complex. What's the financing like for that?
Financing is not completed yet, but they do. Well, I'll tell you what the words were because we were right in the middle of doing the financing right when COVID hit, and then the bank kind of just shut down on that. Said, "Hey, we got to wait." We were doing, let's see, it was 20 years, but the first or what they do is construction loan, and you got let's see, 9 months, uh, so much interest only payments. I'm trying to think in my head. Sorry, 9 months interest only payments, and then it rolls over into a note, and then it's on on interest only payments on what you borrow. After 9 months, it rolls into a interest only payments for 1 year on the full amount.
Hmm,
So that's how that works. And
sure.
actually requested for 12 months interest only on one I borrow, and then roll it into 1 more year of interest only on the full amount. And we never did get approval on that because we just kind of halted.
When you're
You know,
ready to
I
go
wind up
again.
negotiating with my banker.
Yeah.
I tell him what I want, and he tells me what he can do.
So I've never done that either. What's that
Yeah.
like negotiating with the banker? Does he have the final say? Is he presenting your thing to the
He's
board above him? What's that like?
Yeah, he has a board, and he's vice president, and the president above him. You know, I, they both have a really good relationship. They gave me the thumbs up on everything. They do have to take it to a board because it's over a certain amount. Um, but yeah, it's I tell John that John is my banker, and he likes cheap beer. So I say, man, I'll bring you a 12 pack of beer. Just give me this 3% interest rate. He said, yeah. And, we cut up like that. So
That's yeah, that's money well spent on that 12 pack. That's for sure. If you
yeah,
that's sharp. That goes right back to your relationship again,
yeah, it's relationship. Yeah, I
relationship.
mean, like I say, he knows me. I've built my first house through them. The house I currently live in. So I mean, they know me.
That's great. So, I mean, you have done a whole bunch of different things. And looking at your story, it's interesting that you do single family, you do multifamily, you do rentals, you do flips, you've done mobile homes, you're looking and planning to build apartments, and you've been involved in all these different aspects of real estate. For
Yeah.
somebody who is struggling with just taking that first step into any one of those areas, what advice would you give for that person just wanting to get started?
Just start. Just, well, that kind of reminds me of a story where I was talking to the guy yesterday evening. We had a meetup last week in Chattanooga, and I have two friends that want to get into real estate. So, I'm sure the other one had some stuff he had to do for real. But, it's like, look, we've been planning this meetup for a month now, whatever. And, I invited these two guys because they want to get in real estate. But one shows up and one doesn't. So, who made the first step? It's the guy that showed up. And well, the guy that showed up, he's like, man, I didn't know anybody. I don't know what the questions to ask. I was like, dude, you just got to keep coming to these things. Just keep coming to them. Meet this guy, meet that person, meet that lady. Go say, hey, can I take you to lunch, or can I come visit your flip? Can I come visit your rehab? Can I come visit your new construction and look around? Just purposely insert yourself in whatever they are doing is the way I do it. So, whatever this guy's doing, say, hey, can I come visit, or can I come question you, or whatever, just do something. That's, if someone's starting out, don't overthink it. Just get out there and start talking and networking, and visit some of these construction sites or rehab sites. If you have any, and I have a lot of skills from my past so I can run drills, saws, whatever. I can do anything. Some of these guys don't, and I understand that. So you need to kind of find a way what works for you, and get with some contractors, learn who the contractors are, because you don't want to get screwed, because you will get screwed if you don't know who you're dealing with. So learn the contractors, the painters, the plumbers, the electricians. Just purposely insert yourself in with these people.
That's awesome. I think a lot of that comes from networking too. If you're
Yeah,
in with a bunch of investors in your market, you'll hear about the people who you shouldn't work with, or
yeah,
you'll hear
yeah,
about who's getting
yeah,
cheated by who and who didn't finish a job, and all
yeah,
of that. So, and I think it's great advice too, to just take that first step. Just show up to the
yeah.
meeting,
Just show up.
talk to the guy who's renovating the house down the street. You don't have to know how it's all going to pan out, or
Yeah,
how the whole thing will come together. Just take that first step and keep moving forward. So I think that's great encouragement for people.
yeah,
So for you, you've been doing this 20 years, 20 plus years, involved in real estate one way or another.
yeah.
And you can see, I mean, you're just involved in a whole bunch of things and have, big goals that you're working towards. What is it for you? What is that why that really drives you and gets you up in the morning, excited and pushing forward?
Yeah. I don't know. Something about it. I just love it. I've always loved it, but I've never took it serious. Um, Something about, I not political, not being political. I don't know who your fans are, whatever, what their political beliefs are, but I read Donald Trump's book, Art of the Deal, when I was 18 years old. And that sparked something in me to, like, I kind of like this, but I was working in my dad's business, and he wanted me to go his direction. So he pulled me his direction, and, I went that way. And I realized later on in life, that's not really what I want to do. So I left his company in 2011 and just went out on my own and just started figuring stuff out, and started junk clean, dumpster rental. And then we started getting serious in the real estate. And so, yeah, I mean, I just love it. When I get up in the morning, that's what Melissa and I talk about. And if she gets up before me, I'll go in there and look. She's on the computer looking at real estate. And it's just what we do. We just love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very few people, or that is a true blessing to be able to do every day what you love.
Yeah, and it's, when you do a flip, like my wife did a flip a while back, I wouldn't touch that flip, and I told her I wouldn't touch that flip. She bought this house. This house was like, I would have burned it down or bulldozed it something. I wouldn't. She's like, no, I can fix this. I'm like, Melissa, you are crazy. And she's like, no, I'm going to buy this house. If I said, don't put my name on it. And she did. She went and bought the house, and she did an amazing job. I mean, that house, as soon as it went on the market, within 4 hours, she had a full price contract. Or I think they were asking. It was full price. But anyway, within 4 hours, it was under contract, and she did such a great job. And I mean, she in her own right, she's amazing at what she does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you hear "and I told you so" in there at all, or?
No, I told her. She told me so.
Yeah. You jumped the gun. You knew it was coming sooner or later, right?
Yeah. I jumped ahead of that one.
Well, sure. So, for people who want to see more about all the different deals you're working on in your business and Melissa's projects as well, what's a good way for them to be in touch with you or follow up with you?
Just Facebook. I'm on Facebook. She's on Facebook. She's not on there as much as I am, but she does post some of her stuff. But yeah, I'm on Facebook, Ryan Faircloth. And if you need my number, 423-779-6918.
Awesome.
And when we always have people call me or message me, and they're coming through town who've seen, some of my rehabs or whatever, or the 48-hour challenge, and thought that was pretty cool. And they come up from Florida or whatever, and they hit me up and we go to lunch. So, I'm always up for lunch or anything.
That's
I'm
great.
a smart guy, but what I do know I can share with you.
Well, yeah, that's great. And I would definitely encourage anybody, reach out to Ryan, follow and friend and watch those videos. You're going to like the 48-hour rehab videos. And I think be impressed with the process and challenged by whether you could do it or not. And
yeah.
You need a dumpster rental or want to know how to build a dumpster rental company, reach out to you, right?
Yeah, well, we're selling franchises, so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That is a great way to start a dumpster rental company.
Yeah.
So definitely reach out to Ryan for that. So I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your story, and appreciate the insights and encouragement you shared with everybody today. We got to jump back on later, and I got to hear about the student housing and the 26-unit apartment. And
yeah, give me about 3 months on that.
All right, it's a deal.
All right.
All right. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely.
See ya.
We are adding new episodes every week, so make sure and subscribe and check out all of our content at truewealthinvestors.com.